we had seen that rational numbers could be expressed as decimal numbers. So any rational number can be expressed as decimal number. Now, what do rational numbers actually represent? Rational numbers include both integers and fractions. That means I can write integers as well as fractions as decimal numbers. So in this lecture, we'll see how to convert both integers and fractions into decimal numbers. So let's start with an integer first. So I have an integer 14. Now how do I convert this to a decimal number? So 14. Now I can write 14 as, I want to make it a decimal number and I don't need to change the value also. 14 has to remain the same. So I can write it as 14.0. Did this change the value of 14? No. Here 4 is at the ones place, 1 is at the tens place. Here also, what I've added is a 0 in the tens place. So this would not change the value of 14. Similarly, I can add another 0 also. I can also write it as, even this would not change the value because ones and tens, the position of 14, the numbers of 14 are not changing. The position of the digits, which is 4, is still the ones place and 1 is still at the tens place. So since this is not changing, the number is not changing. So what I can say is that after the decimal place, I can add as many zeros as I want. That would not change the value of the number. So whether I add 1 0, 2 zeros, 5 zeros, the value of this number is not changing. So after the decimal point, you can add as many zeros as you want. Now, can you add zeros without the decimal? Would that change the value of the number? Let's look at this number, 14. Now, if I add a 0, value has changed or not? See here, 4 is at the ones place, 1 is at the tens place. What about here? Now here 0 is at the ones place, 4 is at the tens place and 1 comes to the hundredths place. So if I add a 0 otherwise, the value of the number has changed because now 4 is no longer a ones, it has become a tens. So remember that you can add as many zeros as you want, but only after the decimal point. You can add as many zeros only after the decimal point. That would not change the number. So these all are the same. Similarly, let's look at this number 16.3. This is a decimal number. Now this decimal number can be written with any number of zeros. You can put any number of zeros after the decimal point. That would not change the value of the number. So now integers, you've seen how integers can be represented as decimals. Just put a decimal point and add as many zeros as you want. That becomes a decimal number. Now let's look at fractions. So I have a fraction which is 3 by 100. I want to convert this to a decimal number. Now we'd already seen that this represents the number 0.03. We had seen this, 3 by 100 is same as 0.03. Now how do I get this? How did I actually write this? Pretty easy. Count the number of zeros. 1 is being followed by 2 zeros in the denominator. So you need start counting the digits from the right to the left. So write 3 as it is. And I need the decimal after 2 places because there are 2 zeros. So the first place and the second place. So after these 2 digits, I put a decimal point. So now let's convert another fraction which is 7 by 1000. So what I'll do is, I'll write 7 as it is. Now 1 is being followed by 3 zeros. So I need a decimal point after 3 digits. So this is the first one. I need another digit, and then a decimal. So for a column that has no digit, I place a 0. So this becomes 0.007. So that's how you get 7 by 1000 as 0.007. So we've seen how to convert these fractions as decimals. What is common here is that both these fractions have denominator as a power of 10. So now can you express this fraction as a decimal number? So what do we have? 123 by 10. So write the numerator as it is. We place the decimal after 1 is being followed by 10 only. So after the first digit, we'll place a decimal. Start counting the digits from the right. This is the first digit. So after this first digit, I place a decimal. So this number can be written as 12.3 as a decimal number. So I get this. So 123 by 10 can be written as 12.3. So far we've seen how to convert fractions into decimals. But all these fractions had the denominator as 10 or a power of 10. Now let's look at this fraction, which is 3 by 25. Now how do I convert this fraction into a decimal number? I know how to convert a fraction to a decimal only when the denominator is either 10 or some power of 10. So what I'll do is I'll try to make the denominator as a 10 or a power of 10. So now if I want to make the denominator a power of 10, I know 25 times 4 gives me 100, which is a power of 10. So what I'll do is I'll multiply the denominator by 4. That will give me what I want, the denominator as 100. Now if I multiply the denominator, I'll have to multiply the numerator too, to keep the number the same. So I multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 4. What do I get? 3 into 4 is 12. And 25 into 4 is 100. So this is what I get, 12 by 100. Now, it's easy to write this number as decimal. We've already seen how to do that. What you will do is, write the number as it is. 1 is being followed by 2 zeros. So after the 2 digits, I'll place a decimal point. 1, 2. I'll place a decimal point here. So this becomes 0.12. 0.12. Now let's try to convert this number, which is 5 by 8, into a decimal number. Now again, you need to find what number you should multiply 8 with to get a power of 10. I know 8 times 125 gives me 1 followed by 3 zeros. That is 1000. So I multiply 5 also with 125. That is numerator 2 with the same number, so that the value of this number does not change. Now 5 times 125 gives me 625. Now I can convert 625 by 1000 easily into a decimal number. I have this. Write the numerator as it is. 1 is being followed by 3 zeros. So after 3 digits from the right, I'll place the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. So it becomes 0.625. So this is what we get. Now let's look at this mixed fraction. 1 3 by 5. So 1 3 by 5 is same as 1 5 is a 5 plus 3, which is 8. 8 by 5. Now again, you can convert this back to a decimal number. Once you get 8 by 5, multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2. 5 into 2 gives me 10. I wanted the denominator to be 10. So this is what I get. Multiplying both numerator and denominator by 2. 8 2s are 16 and 5 2s are 10. Now this is pretty easy. Again 1.6. 16 as it is. 1 is being followed by a 0. So after one digit, I place the decimal point. Now another way to look at this would be, another way in which you can look at 8 by 5 is as division. We've seen that fractions are nothing but division only. So now if I try to divide 8 by 5, let's see what I get. So if I start dividing 8 by 5, I know 1 times 5 is 5. What I'll be left with is a remainder of 3. Now how do I proceed? I just put a decimal point here, and with this decimal point I can add a 0 to the remainder. So I can make this 30 now. Now again start dividing as earlier. So what times 5 gives me 30? 6. So 6 into 5 gives me 30. Keep on dividing till the remainder becomes 0. So the remainder has become 0 here. I get 1.6. So this number 8 by 5 can be written as 1.6. Now let's try to convert 1 by 2. Again, this fraction can be seen as division. 1 divided by 2. So this would be 0, 2 is a 0. So 1 becomes the remainder. Now I can place a decimal point here. With this decimal point I can make this 10. Now 5 2s are 10. Remainder becomes 0. So half can be expressed as a decimal number by 0.5. 0.5. So this is what we see. So we've seen that half can be written as 0.5. 8 by 5 can be written as 1.6. So after dividing, what I see that I get the remainder 0 and the decimal stops after some point. So I can say that these are decimals which are called as terminating decimals, because after dividing I get the remainder to be 0 after some point. After a decimal point, the remainder becomes 0, and hence I can say that these decimals are terminating decimals. Now let's look at this number 1 by 3, which is 1 being divided by 3. Now if I divide this, 0 3 is a 0, 1 is the remainder. I put a decimal point. I can make this 10 now. Now 3 into 3 is 9. So I'm left with 1 as a remainder again. Now since I'm adding a digit after the decimal point, I can place a 0 again. Now 10 and 3. Again 3 3s are 9. Again I get 1. Again I can place a 0. So you see, each time the remainder is 1, and because of we adding digits after the decimal point, I can make it 10. So again 3 3s are 9. If again I make this as 10, then again 3 into 3 would give me 9, leaving 1 as a remainder. You will see that the remainder is never coming out to be 0. You can repeat this process infinitely. Every time you'll get a 3 which is being added after the decimal point. So I get 0.3333333. This process would never end. So 0.333 is never ending. So how do I write this number? It has infinite number of 3's. How do I write it? What I can do is write some 3's and put 3 points here. So this is called ellipsis. This shows that this number is being repeated. There's a sequence in which this number is being repeated. So after 1 decimal or 2 decimals, in which you can understand the sequence, you can put this ellipsis. Or another way is, you write just 0.3 and you put a bar over the number which is being repeated. So 3 is being repeated. So I write 0.3 and I put a bar over this number, which indicates that this number is being repeated infinite times. You can also put a small dot above the digit 3, which also indicates that this number 3, this digit 3 is being repeated infinite times. So these are the ways in which you can express this number 1 by 3 as a decimal number. You see that since this is repeating, it's not terminating. This is also called non-terminating decimal. Let's look at this number 1 by 7 and see whether this is a terminating or a non-terminating decimal. So now 1 by 7, 0. I get the remainder 1. Putting a decimal point, 10. 1 7s are 7, which leaves a remainder 3. After a decimal point, I can make this 30 now. 7 times 4 is 28. I am left with the remainder 2. So now I get 20. 7 2s are 14. which leaves a remainder 6. Now that is 60. 7 8s are 56, which leaves a remainder 4. So I've still not got 0 remainder, and I still don't see a sequence of numbers. So whether it is terminating or non-terminating, let me see. So I can make this 40 now. 7 5s are 35. What I get is 5 again, which is 50. Now 50. 7 7s are 49. And I again get a 1, which is 10. So now I'm back to 10, which is 1. So in fact, when I kept on dividing this number, what I found was that 1 by 7 was coming out to be 142857, 142857, 142857, and so on. The process did not end. I did not get the remainder 0, but I got this number which was repeating infinite times. So what I see is that 142857, this entire number is being repeated again and again after the decimal. So what I can do is I can write it as 0.142857. This is what is repeating, and put 3 dots, which is ellipsis. Now this indicates that this sequence of numbers is being repeated infinite times. Or else what I can do is I write this number 0.142857, and since this entire sequence is being repeated, I put a bar over this entire sequence, which means that this entire sequence is being repeated infinite times. So this is how I can represent 1 by 7. So what I see is that for 1 by 7 and 1 by 3, I get that the sequence does not end. I never get the remainder 0. The decimal does not terminate. So I can say that these decimal numbers are actually non-terminating decimals. And in these non-terminating decimals, what we observe is a sequence. 3 repeats again and again. Here 142857 repeats again and again. So they recur again and again, and hence I can say that they are recurring decimals. So non-terminating, of course, because they are not terminating. But apart from non-terminating, there is a sequence of digits that is repeating. So I say that these decimal numbers are recurring decimals. Now what we see is that either decimal points are terminating or they are not terminating. Now why is it so that some numbers terminate whereas others do not? So let's look at the number half. If I divide each unit into 10 divisions, then I see that half covers exactly 5 divisions. Hence half is equal to 0.5. Now let's look at the number 1 by 3. We saw that 1 by 3 was a non-terminating decimal. So it lies between 0.3 and 0.4, not completely under any division. So I divide it and further see that 1 by 3 lies between 0.33 and 0.34. Still not perfectly into any division. So I divide it further. Now further on dividing, I see that it still lies between 0.333 and 0.334. So I keep on dividing into further divisions, and what I see is that even on repeating the process again and again, 1 by 3 does not perfectly fit into any division. It again comes back to 0.33333 and 0.33334. So what I see is that the digit 3 is being added again and again, but it does not fit perfectly into any division. So that's why I can say that 1 by 3 does not terminate. It does not fit perfectly into any division, even if I keep dividing again and again. So I saw that fractions could be converted to decimals, integers too. But if I convert fractions to decimals, what I get is either they terminate or they do not terminate, which is terminating decimals or non-terminating decimals. Further, these non-terminating decimals, if they follow a sequence, if some digits are being repeated again and again, I can say that those decimals are recurring decimals.